Hello and welcome to the First Issue Club podcast. We're smart. We put our name of what we do in our title. You get it here. Each and every week, we cover the number ones, the hottest number ones, that then tell us the news about the comic book world. And the news of the comic book world this week was DC FanDome and Batman and all kinds of DC stuff. So we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it big, and that's what we do at First Issue Club. So. In the club today, we have me, Budgie King.
Me, Mike D.
And me, Greg Lichtai. And I am vengeance.
I couldn't tell if that was Bane at first.
Oh, no, I have a Bane impression. Here we go.
This is Greg Lichtai. I was born in the dark.
This is great. I didn't know you had so many DC impressions. Can you do Joker?
Hello, I am the Joker, and I am crazy.
Okay, and that's where it ends.
Not all our hits. Not all our
so
hits.
nuts about the Joker as he could be any of us.
He's so deadpan.
Oh yeah. So lots of news. DC FanDome. Let's just start there. Greg, you go nuts on DC FanDome. It's like your Super Bowl.
Yeah. Well, no, it's I like when companies do this. Like we got DC FanDome this weekend. We're having the Disney Plus Day coming up on November 12th, which is what they're going to do. Essentially, what DC just did. They're going to release all their
I celebrate
Marvel trailers.
Disney Plus Day every year.
Every day is Disney Plus Day for me. That's how much I love it. So I just love when this happens because they don't do it at Comic-Cons anymore because I think like Warner Brothers and Marvel and DC finally realized that they can make more money if they have their own little convention to praise themselves.
Wait a minute. We'll just host our own press conference?
Yes.
Is that it, or is it just COVID? Do we think they'll go back to conventions?
Well, I think it spun out of COVID, yes.
Yeah.
But then they realized, oh my God, why compete with anyone when we can do this on our own?
So Image was always doing this.
Yeah, but I don't think anyone cares.
Exactly. I was going to say, but that seemed to be not that attended.
Well, also, Image wasn't releasing movie trailers.
Yeah. That's a good point.
So, yeah, DC FanDome was this weekend. They released a bunch of news about your favorite TV shows, about your favorite movies coming out. There was some comic book news, so it was a lot to handle. And I'm going to give you the hottest hits.
Hang on. I got a dumb question.
Oh, yeah. Get me.
I'm king of budgets and king of dumb questions. Can you attend DC FanDome?
No, it's virtually.
Okay. I can't cosplay as Batgirl and go to
You can, but you can't go anywhere.
Okay, got it.
It's just you on a stream watching another stream.
I'm sure that happens.
Yeah, you'll be on, what was it, Twitch? Is that the streaming?
Oh, man, we sound so old.
Yeah.
What is that thing called? Is it
What's that
Twitch?
thing? People play video games and people watch?
TikTok.
That company that's worth like $1 billion? What's it called?
All right, Grandpa Greg is here. So the big news at a DC FanDome, we get another trailer for the Batman movie with Bruce Wayne, a la Batman, being played by Robert Pattinson, shiny vampire boy.
A24 Batman.
We watched it before the episode.
I think the verdict's out that he's overcome
by far.
Twilight.
Twilight in that he's done enough like indie films that people are like, this dude's a good actor.
I think it was just a funny footstep in his career.
Sure. Yeah.
Just like
he's also pretty, so people want to take him down like they do like Channing Tatum and things like that.
Yeah, sure. He does suffer from being too pretty.
But nobody fucks with Chris Hemsworth. Everybody just loves him.
I think because he's dumb.
Is he? He has his own Disney Plus show coming out.
Yeah, I think like him and Zac Efron, like those are two beautiful, beefy dudes.
People fuck with Zac Efron.
But they're dumb as bricks.
Oh, man. Zac Efron's like Netflix show or whatever it was is just like a tour of how much of an idiot this guy is.
Oh, are you serious? Okay.
Yes, exactly.
He has
these,
like,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
realizations every episode where it's just like, man, today made me realize like it's hard for poor people.
Yeah.
And
The
you're
world
just
is
like,
rough.
oh my God. Hey, if we were all like all friends, the world might be like better.
Caitlin and I started watching that show together.
It's bad.
And then she banned me for watching it with her because the entire time I was scoffing so loudly at this idiot.
Yeah.
So the Batman trailer. People on Twitter were going crazy for it. It's definitely a darker tone. Like you said, Mike D, it's an A24 version of Batman. What did you guys think of it, your initial reactions when you saw the trailer?
I thought too many characters that I can recognize in it. It's like just a red flag for a disastrous, convoluted plot that just tries to do a lot of fan service and tries to sell a lot of tickets by saying you're going to see Catwoman, you're going to see at least the Joker's gang, you're going to see the Penguin, you're going to get some Riddler. Like that's way too many things in my opinion to introduce unless we got like the entirety of what those things are featured as in the trailer.
Sure.
Like I don't mind you peppering concepts of these things in so when they show up in subsequent movies it's a funner payoff because we've been teased that already.
Yeah.
But I just think there's too many things to do them all right.
Yeah, I think that we have the current zeitgeist of Batman is problematic for a handful of reasons, whether he's like a playboy, not womanizer, but not very like women don't really have the limelight in his movies, or he's like billionaire person who chooses to like fight crime instead of fix things with his money
On a street level too.
Yeah.
He's like
Right.
he started like just like beating up like burglars.
Right. And it's like I kind of wish that this movie would address that, but it was too far gone. Like I think that's happened in the last year and a half.
Yeah.
The movie was in full on action mode production, noir dark, that it couldn't like pivot and be like, let's have a little bit of social commentary.
Like part of me was thinking, could you do a Batman movie now where he doesn't have a Batmobile? Like I would kind of
Like a
love.
bicycle?
Or it's a Tesla.
No, I just
Just to Uber.
I just like the idea of a Batman that isn't so fully formed that he has like billion-dollar like
Sure,
gadgets
yeah.
all the time. And I thought when I heard like grittier Batman, I was thinking maybe a little more raw DIY Batman, and maybe part of that was just the Robert Pattinson casting and me in my head putting like A24 vibes on it. But to see all of his like billionaire gear, I was kind of like, yeah, it's another Batman movie for sure.
I mean, the Batmobile did look like they took like a Cutlass Supreme and put a jet engine in it, so
Yeah.
it's not fully formed.
Here's the thing. I mean, I guess you asked our reaction is that's like one take. The bigger take is like it looks cool and dark and fun.
Yeah.
It looks like it's going to be a fun watch.
Yeah.
Like the trailer was done really well. And it looks enjoyable. I just think when you re-up Batman, it's like give me a reason for why you're re-upping it rather than just making it darker, because DC's already done that and they don't succeed at that model.
I think what they're trying to establish is, because with other news that came out, they gave us a teaser trailer for the new Flash movie that's going to be coming out next year. And so with that, in the Flash teaser trailer, they alluded to that the Flash can go to different points in time and different parallel universes. So I think what they're setting up is a kind of Flashpoint scenario.
Yeah.
And so they needed a new Batman to fill that role because Ben Affleck may not be available to be playing Batman anymore, because it is Ezra Miller as the Flash.
Which is the Justice League guy.
Right, which
Yeah.
is the Zack Snyder Flash.
Uh-huh.
And so I think they're basically trying to set up a scenario where they can cherry pick different characters from different franchises if they need them to pop in.
Is the guy who plays Cyborg in Doom Patrol the same guy as
No.
the movie?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good question. He's really good in Doom Patrol.
Yeah, do you like that show?
Of what I've seen the first 4 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good news. That got renewed for a 4th season.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
The-
It's wild that that's already 3 seasons deep.
My complaint, which I think we talked about this when that first show came out, is like it bills itself as like not a superhero show, and then it's like
100% is.
it's like yes, within episode 1, it's like this is a superhero show.
Yeah, certainly.
I think what they meant by that was like what they mean with like by the boys, like it's not your average superhero
But
show.
the-
There's cussing.
I think the boys does it very much so that you question even like are they superheroes? Like, and Doom Patrol is straight up like it's essentially like Justice League with like mental problems.
Yeah. No,
Which isn't,
it makes
that's like
sense.
well-trodden territory at this point.
Yeah. So but the show itself was actually really enjoyable. All the HBO like kind of DC stuff has not been bad, to be honest.
I
Like,
agree.
It's been watchable. I
Yes.
guess. I know you guys are big fans of the Harley Quinn thing, and
I am. I don't think Greg's seen it.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah,
No.
the Harley Quinn cartoon I really enjoyed.
Suicide Squad has gotten
Oh, that
good.
movie was great.
That movie was surprisingly good. It had a lot of heart in it. There was no news about the new Suicide Squad sequel coming out, so. But the Flash trailer.
Did they apologize for Wonder Woman?
Well,
Oh my God.
if we skip to that, it got confirmed that there is a Wonder Woman 3 coming out.
Okay, sorry. I knew you were going to do
Of
it.
course there is. Of course there is.
Yeah, they don't give a shit.
It's
if people-
1985.
It's 1991. I'm kidding. I don't know what year they're going to go into. But with the Flash teaser trailer, we got a quick glimpse of Tim Burton's Batman.
Oh, Michael Keaton?
Like Michael Keaton.
Did they CGI him?
They put in his Batman outfit
Okay, now that's
Okay.
cool.
and like the Batmobile.
Okay.
So we're getting strong vibes that yes, Michael Keaton is going to be in the new Flash movie.
Whether it's like digitally reconstructed with his voice or
Or like he's just an older Batman.
he's just older. Okay.
So
Or he's playing Birdman.
what a twist. So, I mean, I think it'll be fun. I honestly don't know why we're going forward with the Flash movie, but unless it is just to set up the idea of like, it's all one universe because of the Flashpoint movie or
I think
whatever.
Talk about biting off more than you could chew.
No
again.
shit.
I constantly
Again.
This is why DC movies are always a little subpar in my opinion. They're always trying to do way too much.
Where they really succeeded was, I mean, problematic as it is, was Joker. Simple, straightforward. We have good characters. Let's sit with. I think TBS has that. Like we've got characters.
Character-driven.
Yeah.
Well, I think
Yeah.
part of the problem with this Flash thing is gonna, if it ends up actually being that, is that Spider-Man's about to do it.
Right.
Where
Exactly.
they venture into a multiverse.
Doctor Strange.
Well,
Yeah.
Spider-Man did do it in Spider-Verse.
That's true. They already did do it, and you've got so one, you've got some history there.
Mm-hmm.
Two, you have tons of previous Spider-Man movies to play with. What previous Flash movies are there? Like,
I can't think of any.
give us a second with the character before you try to jump into something so heady.
Maybe they could intermix some
And
Flash Gordon.
It's going to seem like a rip-off of the Spider-Man thing by the time it comes out
Yeah.
because it's undoubtedly going to follow
Well,
the
I think
multiverse MCU stuff.
I think that DC looks at the Avengers kind of culmination and like sees all the record breaking. Just like that franchise will pay Marvel's and Disney's like paychecks for years to come. That's gonna it's just insane.
Mickey who?
And so I think that DC's like, we have better history, well, longer history maybe, or just like more better fans in some ways. We could do that too. We need to make that happen for us. Like there's no reason why we can't do that. How are we gonna do it? And they got in a room, did a little ayahuasca.
Yeah.
And
I think the point's been well written that Marvel took its time and laid the groundwork for the Avengers movie.
Yeah.
And then Warner Brothers / Disney saw that.
Jumped
and said,
right into the
Fuck
Justice
that.
League
Let's do
movie."
it Justice League now.
do it darker.
And then do it.
And then made excuses about why it was bad for a decade.
Yeah.
And then did a re-edit that was too long and no one really cared about.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a like weird thing to be like, no, you don't actually know. And it's like now
We
now,
put out the wrong copy.
now we did know actually.
And so what else came out? Oh, we got sneak previews of the new Black Adam movie that has The Rock in it, Dwayne Johnson.
Ooh, big fan.
And I actually do love Dwayne
I do.
Johnson.
He
fucking rules.
I do like him. I meant to say that in not a jokey tone.
Okay. Do you love him because of his recent Kansas City ties?
What's his Kansas City ties? Oh, he was on Tech Nine's
Rapping
album.
in a new Tech Nine song.
Oh my God, I didn't know that. No, I think in general, like his performances are spot on. I like how rich he is. I like that as a prestigious thing for him.
Like he has a lot of character.
I
rich,
think
or
he,
like
at
money
one,
rich.
like 2 years ago, he was like the most paid actor, highest paid actor of all time.
Nice, good for him.
He's one of those people to me that just personifies Hollywood fatigue and how all the movies are the same.
Wait,
I'm just starting to get sick of him, I think.
So I am in the camp of I liked the Shazam movie with Zachary Levi.
I think most people did.
Yeah.
a
liked it.
lot of hard-nosed Zack Snyder fans hated it.
Sure.
Because it was too campy and they thought it was too Marvel.
Yeah.
And whatever, it was successful. That's why they hated it. It was so successful and it wasn't in Zack Snyder's
It was too accessible.
Yeah. You mean other people are going to like this?
I didn't have to
Boo.
try to like
It doesn't
this
take
one.
itself so seriously.
And it looks like it's going to be in the same, this Black Adam movie, it looks like it's going to be in the same kind of fun action realm as Shazam, which is good.
Yeah.
And they're bringing back the JSA. So we have Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate, and we also have Atom Smasher, Hawkman in this movie, and someone else I'm forgetting. But
So ridiculous. Come on.
Is this another thing where it's like throwing too much at it?
Oh my God. Are you kidding me? Try explaining Dr. Fate to these people.
Right.
Is Dr. Fate part of that Stargirl show, though?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder if those are going to be any of the same actors. Probably not.
They don't.
It's weird to have this
No, it's not.
universe
Of
that
TV.
of TV things coinciding on like a platform where all the DC movies are also housed
so
and then they
that's-
don't cross over at all.
So that's the difference between Marvel and DC is like Marvel's getting into TV shows so they can use the same actors
yes,
and actresses.
exactly right.
Whereas like DC's done that. That's any DC fan will tell you, okay, DC has better TV shows though.
Mm-hmm.
But now they're like, wait a minute, different actors, different
What
actresses?
a weird peg to hang your hat on.
Yeah. Now the Marvel shows kick the ass of any DC shows, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Even like I think Loki stands up to like every season of Arrow combined.
Okay, how's What If?
It's
What
great.
if I don't care for it?
And that's animated, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's the other thing that DC had. They're like, well, we have the best animated films.
Yeah.
I am let's dip into Marvel for a second. I wouldn't be surprised if What If leads into the live action stuff
Of What If? Live action What If?
of live action Marvel multiverse stuff.
Oh, like spin-offs.
This
and
was
stuff.
their way to like cheaply setting it up.
Oh, so when
Animated.
you see Agent Carter's Captain America show up in the actual
Yep.
multiverse movie, you're like, oh my God, they're actually doing
Yep,
that. Okay.
exactly.
That'd be fun.
Right, which is the correct way to do it.
Yeah.
You spend a little bit of money, make this, okay, we'll be honest, mediocre show, Marvel What If, and like just pay it off in the big
Yeah.
production stuff, like fucking genius. So we got Black Adam looked good. They Zachary Levi came out and said, Shazam 2 is coming out in 2023. A bunch of new DC shows got renewed for their second or third seasons. Fourth with Titans. It was just a lot.
Who
happening.
watches Titans?
I don't know. I don't. DC heads.
Oh. Okay, can I say this reminds me talking about the movies that are coming out reminded me of last night. My wife from the other room hollers at me because she's watching TV.
Wait, your wife from the other room, not your actual wife? Your
He has two wives, folks.
other room wife.
One that stays in a room that is not allowed to leave.
Can I come out?
So I'm in my comic book nerd cave, and she's watching TV in the living room, and I just hear her yell, "Hey, what's Eternals?" And normally this is a situation where I'm like, yes, my wife is asking about comic book stuff. I get to talk about it. And I was just like, oh, pass. And so she was like, there's a lot of famous people in it. So she's kind of like,
There is.
she's kind of like intrigued now because it's like, oh, this is a movie we could go to together. Like, I like all these famous
Kumar?
people.
Is that his name?
Kumar, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he got like ripped for it. He did this whole like crazy diet thing and like
He did.
Yes,
Yeah.
and he's like jacked now.
Yeah.
So I was like, how does this movie work still? If I'm just like a major fan and my dream is to be able to just like talk to my wife about comics all day. And this one I was just like, to be honest, I don't really know. I don't know what they're gonna
So,
do with the movie.
I feel like
the concept is too hard to explain.
I feel like the movie has to be one of those, like they did Guardians of the Galaxy, I think did so well.
Yeah.
It was just like, you don't have to know this. It's just a space adventure.
Yeah.
I think they got to be like, this is weird out, cracked out God shit, but we're going to.
I just wonder if they're gonna make it funny because it's such a heady comic.
The trailers do not appear to be
They
funny.
don't look funny at all. Okay, sorry, I distracted us too much with Marvel, but I
No,
thought that
you're
was
good.
funny.
That's all I had. DC fandom was essentially those trailers being dropped.
So if you had to rank them,
If I had to rank them as
The-
far
the-
as
the news
quality,
pieces.
or
No,
is this
the-
like
the wow factor of newsiness.
the wow factor of newsiness?
Go with 3, please. 3, 2, 1.
Top one, Batman trailer.
You went-
People
you
went
went- yeah.
ape
You
shit for that.
You went the reverse.
So
Okay.
let's just bail on this since he can't get it right.
Sorry, number one, Batman trailer. Number 3,
Oh, okay. There we go.
We'll meet in the middle.
Black Adam, and then number 2 was the Flash stuff.
Where does Wonder Woman sit in there?
Wonder Woman didn't even make the list because it was just an announcement that they're making Wonder Woman 3.
Okay.
Which everyone knew already.
No comic book news.
Not really.
Oh,
the solicits came out the week prior, so they were all set up till January with.
Did this come out of DC fandom? Milestone is going to specifically target like new and upcoming POC writers and illustrators.
Yeah, so there is a new initiative with Milestone that's going to has this new like project where it helps people of color in creative avenues like writers and illustrators like get into the comic book industry and like support their books. Also, there's going to be an animated movie, a Milestone animated movie.
Cool.
Which that's like number 6 on the heat
6
factor.
on there? Good, okay. That's a good heat factor.
Yeah. And then, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is going to be voicing Crypto in the computer animated Super Pets TV show.
Oh, okay.
Where does okay.
Can any... There's no room for up-and-coming people in Hollywood.
No.
You have to already exist and be mega famous.
Sure.
Give someone else a fucking chance. Why does Jane Lynch have to host 80 TV shows? Why does The Rock have to be in every goddamn movie?
Because they're certified.
I guess SNL's doing it right.
So stupid.
Okay, so then where does bisexual Superman fit in all of the DC fandom?
Oh, yes, yeah. So, big hubbub all over social media, bleeding into regular news. And
Just
then
news in general?
And then right into SNL. It came out that in an upcoming, it's either Action Comics or...
it is Action Comics.
Superman, John Kent, so Superman's son, comes out as bisexual.
Yeah.
And apparently, we're still not ready for that kind of news in the world because everyone wanted to burn down everything.
Bisexual is also like, oh, don't worry, guys. He still likes the ladies. I'm just like,
Sure,
just
yeah.
make him gay. Like, if you wanted to be more provocative or like forward, like it's like I think it would thwart people's mentality of testosterone.
If they made him gay.
Just I could be wrong there, but okay. So wait, tell me more about this thing about people wanting to burn down the internet
Because they led with the clickbaity line of Superman is gay, which John Kent
Superman is bisexual.
Is taking up the mantle of Superman in the
future.
Yes.
Yes. And so everyone thinks that from that tagline on the news articles that Clark Kent is bisexual.
This is the second time they've done this because they did the Robin thing too.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And so, like, old comic book fans are just like, no, Clark Kent can't be, kissing boys. And it's just like, well, if you read the article, Grandpa, it's his son, and yeah, he can kiss boys if he wants to.
Right.
And I think it's so crazy that these people don't exist.
By the way,
these are
that
fake people.
That impression you did of like old grandpa, that was a good one.
Thanks.
That
Better than my Joker.
Joker was like kind of interesting, but that old man one, keep that in the canon.
I just think it's so telling of our community, the comic book community, of how non-accepting we are of inclusivity with these characters that were just made up on a whim that we can't, handle them in their sexuality.
But you say we, and it's like we're sitting in a room of 3 mega fans who all are like, "Thank you, you didn't go far enough."
Right.
I feel like there's a lot of us listeners to this podcast. You agree with us?
Sure.
Yeah.
We're not
That's why
loud
you're here.
enough, though. I guess.
Yeah, if you're not gonna like get on Yelp and write a crazy review if you thought a restaurant was like pretty good.
Right.
That's a great point.
You know what I mean?
That's a really great point.
This is like Fox News people who don't read comics that are like mad.
I don't talk to anybody that would be offended by this though in my like daily
Same.
like life.
Yeah.
And if I did, I would be like, and as all of you would be like, "You're wrong. Leave. Goodbye."
Sure.
Yeah.
But the problem is, so when this news came out, Fox News did pick it up, obviously.
Oh God.
And who did they get on to talk about it?
Trump.
Dean Cain,
Oh yeah, that's right.
Superman from the Lois and Clark show.
He's like
Oh.
super alt-right.
Oh, is he? Okay.
And
He's
just
in the Rolodex.
God, oh my God, he's like on speed dial because
Yeah.
he's not doing shit. Like, Fox News is calling him great,
Somebody that agrees with our crackpot ideas.
and it's like all their reasonings is just like, here we go again. Like the liberal left is trying to water down our American ideals with Superman. It's just like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. Like, you obviously don't know anything about comic books or the character that you played.
It's the same idea that's been happening forever, like with Reefer Madness. How like it's like oh, marijuana is gonna destroy the kids and turn them into murderers.
Yeah.
It's like a little bit of queerness ain't gonna hurt anybody.
Right. All these cishead gender motherfuckers are shivering in their boots.
Yeah. If it can't be just for me, it can't be for anyone.
Right. And I feel bad because it's a Tom Taylor book. And he had to do like the press junket for all of these news heads.
Yeah.
And like he's just like, listen, this isn't a big deal. Like, this is just inclusivity. Like, this is just like the natural progression of things. And everyone's like, are you afraid of the backlash? And he's like, no, what backlash? You're creating the backlash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think else. What else DC news came out? Chip Zdarsky's writing a Batman book.
Oh, he switched teams.
Well, he's still writing for Marvel, too.
Oh, he doesn't have a lock 'em up contract?
He's a free agent.
He's a rare one.
There you go.
It's crazy. He's got so much clout that he can write like 2 major characters on 2 of the biggest publishers. There's not many people who've done that at once in like the modern era.
By 2 of the major publishers, did you mean Marvel and Substack?
No.
I love the publisher Substack. All their books are great. Yet to read one because they haven't come out yet.
What's Chip Zdarsky's biggest independent book?
Sex Criminals.
It's definitely Sex Criminals.
It's Sex Criminals,
right?
Okay.
Or I guess that the new one that you like
Stillwater I really like.
Stillwater's good.
That's probably his biggest one currently that's still active.
Zaptara?
Yeah, Kaptara.
Kaptara. I always call it Zaptara, yeah.
I think would you imagine Kaptara is like his cult classic? Or would that be Sex Criminals?
Sex Criminals.
I think Kaptara...
It didn't last long enough.
Kaptara solidified, like, this dude's funny.
Yeah.
Okay. So, like, Sex Criminals was like his indie darling that like made him like Marvel and DC kind of take notice of.
Yeah, and he's the illustrator on that. Am I right?
Yes.
And co-author?
I don't know about co-author, but he's
Okay.
the illustrator.
Yeah. So.
Right. Because Matt Fraction was the writer on that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So.
All right.
That's interesting.
Good job, Chip.
That's all it really is for the DC fandom.
Oh, wait. His biggest book, indie book, is the standalone issue crossover that we did a whole episode on.
Of course. Famously known for selling 2 million copies.
I don't know why we didn't talk about that. That's a lot of news. We did like straight up DC news.
Yeah.
And now we're covering a DC comic book, which I didn't put in the title. I should put it at the top, actually. Should I?
Well, no, let's do it right now.
But do I need to tell them at the top?
No.
Do they
It'll be in
care?
the title.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
True DC heads and even truer First Issue Club fans stay all the way through. They didn't care what books were
They
covering.
don't even give a shit. Just give me the book. It's just
wanna-
random.
they
yeah.
wanna hear our
Put the quarter
ramblings.
in the slot machine and then.
Let the song run.
So we have Batman The Imposter. Did I get the title right?
No.
I don't know.
I think it's Batman The Imposter.
That's what I said. Did I say D?
Like the Batman, as in our trailer. D'imposter. It's D apostrophe imposter. It takes place in the Bronx.
Yeah, we got
With
it's,
the baby.
It's Batman The Imposter.
In Monster.
the
Imp Monster.
Batman
This
the
Imp Monster is scary.
He is haunting.
Batman the Stallion by Mattson Tomlin.
Yes.
And Andres Sorrento did the artwork, which is worth shouting out because the artwork was stunning.
It was very cool.
Yeah, very good. Go ahead.
Yeah, can I just make a comment on that? That throughout this book, whenever someone gets hit, there is like an isolated frame that outlines and turns the hit into like black and white or like a little bit of an X-ray. And
Right,
so you
yeah.
see like bones breaking and the toll it's taking on both Batman's body and the like people he's fighting.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was kind of an interesting motif for the entire issue.
Yeah.
And really makes you think about like, man, Bruce Wayne does get the shit kicked out of him quite a bit.
He gets fucking rocked.
Yeah.
Well, I think to the point of, the one I made earlier about the problematic nature of Batman, most of the Batman books we've gotten via Black Label or whatever that's derivative of the mainline story Batman are actually tackling this idea, Batman Reptilian, things like that, about the problematic nature of Batman and some of the kind of like character flaws that he has, which makes for really interesting stories.
Yep.
And so the main thing here is that the new villain of Batman, which, by the way, Batman in this book looks very much like Robert Pattinson.
I would agree.
Yeah. Like, interestingly enough.
It's a younger Batman.
Yes. I think it's his first year on the job, Batman.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
That's
right. Because he
has the LinkedIn.
kind of reappeared.
He's a rookie.
He started his LinkedIn, and it doesn't even say 1 year anniversary yet.
Congrats. He gets all the canned congrats notes.
Grazie. And so he's on the job, and this villain, interestingly enough, which you got to come up with different ways to take down Batman, decides, I'll be Batman, but I'll kill people, and that, in turn, will kill you.
Yeah. So while reading this, I really enjoyed this book, but it felt like the entire time I was reading it that I've read this story before.
Yeah, sure.
Right.
Imposter Batman.
It was like, where have I seen this?
Right. And like that's bound to happen with DC and Marvel stuff. Like they've tread a lot of road. But this, like, it just had a familiar feel to it of just like, I think I've read this book.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even one of the Christopher Nolan Batman movies deals with, like the street level Batmans and just like schmucks and dressing up in hockey pants.
Storming the Capitol, dressed as Batman.
And so you get a taste of it there too.
So did you know that this guy is the writer of the Batman, of the actual movie, and he's never written a comic book before?
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
Interesting. That explains all the words.
And that also explains why this is like so similar to this and also looks like Robert Pattinson. So like, never written a comic before. Mostly known for just indie movies, which, again, your A24 Batman reference there. And so, that does explain all the words. The superfluous amount of words.
Many, many words.
Yeah, even when they are action sequences, they are words hitting people and crashing and things like that.
I felt like it read easily, though, for being like a larger bound book.
It also was entertaining. I was never not paying attention. And it was a good first outing by this person.
I never had a moment where I was just like, God, how many pages are left? Like, I was in it.
Yes, I was. And it was long.
Yeah.
It was so long.
Yeah. It was really well set up. And it also, like, which I love when Batman does, it set up the surrounding characters of him as somewhat more important. And so it really worked for me.
It's almost like it almost seems like our main character in this isn't Batman, but a detective who's trying to get to the bottom of who Batman is and how he relates to other people in the crime world, 2, in the like billionaire boys club.
So here we go. Then my original critique of the Batman being like, it's not necessarily critiquey enough or like woke enough of the Batman. But if I were leading with that, this is kind of like a good critique on Batman. Maybe we'll get some of that in the Batman. Right. So this is a good job, DC, having this thing happen. Now,
maybe they wouldn't let him do it in the movie, so he's like, fine, I'll do it in
doing the comic books.
This is how I actually wanted the Riddler.
Worst place to do it.
Yeah. I'm going to do a side book that really didn't get promoted at all. That got released during DC FanDome to no hype.
Yep.
But was a really good book and a really good series.
I loved the conversation around these like moguls in Gotham being like, this guy is wreaking havoc on our industry. He's blowing up docks. He's crashing helicopters into buildings. He's costing us tons of money. And then this cop, or detective rather, is kind of putting together like, okay, is Batman really fighting street level crime, or is that a guise for attacking like capitalists in Gotham, which is an interesting conversation. And then one of the leading corporations that is hemorrhaging money because of Batman and Gotham kind of they're the ones who catch the footage of Batman kicking guys off of the top of a building and killing them.
Right.
So you're led to believe that maybe they've staged this fake Batman to get him on murder charges.
You know what's funny is like this actually could still be canon in the movie.
Sure.
Because it's 1 year into his career.
Yeah.
So it could be essentially like the prequel to the movie.
Yeah. I don't know if we've had any of the previous movies have Bruce Wayne go to a therapist or a psychologist or anything.
Nope.
But
That's
it's
really good.
super awesome to just psychoanalyze him like in the midst of his creation as this character he's invented for himself, and just have someone be like, you realize you're crazy, right?
Yeah.
Like the things that you're saying sound like an angry man with an agenda. And
So the plot device that normally happens with that in like cinema is it's the time for the author to tell you the heady things they want you to get out of the movie.
yeah, right.
Famously, this is how Donnie Darko unfolds. Like everything that doesn't make sense about Donnie Darko is explained in the therapy room.
Right.
And so it is the place to critique Batman and to like say he's like a psycho, which is probably the biggest theme about this is like he is a psychopath.
Just like have someone aside from Alfred who has to like answer to Batman be like to Bruce Wayne's face, you realize you're crazy, right?
Yeah.
I loved that.
It was really well written.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is a fun book.
I don't know how long it is. This is book 1. At the
Yeah,
end.
so which leads me to believe that it's like gonna take a break and you'll come back in whenever. Like I don't think it's like a monthly. It sure as hell ain't 3 times a month like Spider-Man. So
Yeah. Well, and the cliffhanger of it I thought was great, where the detective finds herself at Bruce Wayne's doorstep coming to talk to him about Batman. So at this point, she's either put it together already that he's Batman, or she just wants to talk to him to see where like what place his cog plays in like the whole machine of Gotham City.
Right.
I think it's going to be a fast moving series. She might already know that he's Batman.
okay, as a Batman mainline guy, you gonna pick this up? You gonna put this on your poll?
100%.
Well, 100%.
Wow.
Pick of the week. It's the only book we're covering, but it's definitely the pick of the week.
I can't wait to read the second one. I thought the first book was so good. That, you know, what happens with this detective is like, I would love to see like a show of this. It kind of unfolds like, it reminds me a little bit of some of the Daredevil TV show.
Oh, right, yeah.
And stuff like that. So,
Well, good job, Mattson.
yeah.
I don't know if you prefer Matt.
I think in this book specifically, I don't know how any detective worth their salt in criminal justice doesn't put 2 and 2 together that like oh, there's this new Caped Crusader. Bruce Wayne's looking real fucked up lately. Like, have you seen him? They're
Or
just
he's
like,
looking
wait a minute.
Fit is in like
Right,
yeah.
and like, wait a minute, his buildings haven't been attacked yet. What the fuck is happening?
I love the whole thing with someone finally like putting together, okay, the Batman has like motorcycles with the VIN number chipped off like all over Gotham. There's like, we've impounded 50 abandoned $80,000 motorcycles all over Gotham City. And like there's zip lines building to building and, you know, new routes broken through in the sewer system. It's like, obviously this guy's a billionaire or being funded by a billionaire.
Right.
There's like no other way around it. So this detective is like putting things together that you're just like, it's actually refreshing to get a shorter story where someone realizes some real things about who Batman could be. It's a short list.
Have we ever talked about if Batman could live in the real world or like go about his business?
Like Iron Man?
No, like we wake up tomorrow and there's a vigilante across the world called Batman who like dishes out justice at night.
It's Tucker Carlson.
But what would it do? Like I stopped credit card fraud.
He's beating up burglars.
You know, like he's beating up burglars, like doing that shit.
Being rich as fuck.
Like he's caught in like a week, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like there's
I don't know.
way
They can't catch Brian, man, for murdering his girlfriend.
Well, he's in hiding. He's probably dead already.
So that's all Batman's got to do is hide in the swamps of Florida. After he beats up a few burglars.
Okay, we're heading into some terrible territory here. But I don't know. I think it spun out from like how in this book they're putting two and two together so quickly of just like, this doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, that Batman's not a sustainable idea.
Right.
Yeah.
He's like what they're exploring in the new Spider-Man stuff. Like, you need a corporation behind you
Right.
Yeah.
to fight crime.
Yeah.
And like, we have it. It's called the police.
That's the other thing too. Is it's like, are the police in Gotham just fucking idiots? Like they.
Well, there's a lot of commentary on that in this book. Like, people are like, man, fuck these guys for just being like, okay, do my job for me.
Right. Yeah. Go ahead. You're doing it.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't live in a place so crime ridden as Gotham though. So who am I to say? DC had a big week.
I think, yeah, all I really took out from DC fandom was the movie trailers.
Well, I'm just saying, like in general, we covered a book, we covered Superman, we covered DC fandom,
Yep, there's a new
Wonder Woman.
kids book, Wonder Woman, or I guess teens probably.
Yeah, Teens book, which
Yeah.
we'll cover on the Patreon.
There is this new book coming out that I'm kind of excited for, and it exists in the realm of like kind of Elseworld, not really tied into mainline, and it's called like Batman Knights of Steel, and it's basically just like
Is it real?
It's like Knights of the Round Table, but everyone's a Batman character. Like you get Batman as like a knight in shining armor and like all this kind of crazy stuff. It's written by Tom Taylor, and I generally like most of his stuff, and so I'm just like kind of excited about the alt reality DC stuff coming out.
Nice. All right, and that's the show.
Shout out to Boulevard Brewing Company. Even though we're recording at 9 a.m., we're still drinking delicious Space Camper. It's not a problem. It's a hobby.
Everything is malted in these veins. So,
Yes.
Yeah.
I have malted veins, mama. I actually just spoke with Adam earlier, and he wants a new beer on the show. He has a secret beer that we can't talk about yet.
Hell yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Very exciting.
So listen in the next few weeks. We're gonna have a new beer to talk about.
Is he going to come back on?
He'd like to if we want
Yeah,
him on.
for sure.
All right.
No joke. I work with somebody that like was talking about like beers in their city in New York, and they were like, I kind of like this like Space Camper beer, and I was like, are you fucking with me right now? I was just like, this just seems like you did a weird deep dive on me.
Worldwide, baby.
Yeah. So truly the beer renowned across the country. Not making that shit up.
It's on a lot of people's top 5 lists. Boulevard beer. That's not blowing smoke.
First Issue Club is brought to you by Boulevard Brewing Company via Space Camper Cosmic IPA. Our music is courtesy of the fine folks at Primary Color Music. You can find, friend, and follow us on social media at First Issue Club or firstissueclub.com. You can support First Issue Club by joining us on our Patreon for additional content at patreon.com/firstissueclub.